end of the football season, so it's kind of okay. Anyway, we'll take calls on the Super Bowl today, but I got to start with last night. And there was a play that happened in the Clemson basketball game that I got to talk about for a minute here, and I'll tell you why. There were several people that were in my tweet mentions or mentioned me in tweets because of the following play with David Collins last night. Let's play this for you. This is from the ACC Network.
Collins faded away like he got hit. Oh, that is dangerous play under the basket.
Almost had a bench clearing situation over here.
Many on the Duke bench to their feet. Mike Krzyzewski understandably livid.
Right. And it was a bad play. It was a dirty, you can make an argument it was a dirty play. Collins made comments after the games. We'll give you that in a moment, but straight from the ACC, this happened, by the way, it's up on the blog page at foxsportsradio1400.com, including the play and the response and everything else. Go and check that out. But he was suspended for one game. Now, look, I think the play was dirty. The way that he cut him, it didn't look like it was in good sportsmanship at all. Okay? But I think some people have gone overboard a little bit. Was it a dirty play? Yes. I don't think that should be the play that that haunts David Collins for the rest of his life. Let's put that out there first. And shame on the people that are in my feed saying, that was the big thing. He shouldn't be allowed to play basketball again ever. That's what one guy said in my Twitter feed. Let's slow it down just a little bit. The guy that got cut, he seems fine with it. Coach K gave him a hug on the sideline. He absolutely needs to be suspended. I'm with you on that. But man, a lot of folks forgetting how crazy they were when they were 20 years old. 803-978-1832. Out to the phones we go. Welcome into the rundown.
Yes, sir. What's up, man?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Feeling a little perturbed. This is Mayhem Matthew.
What's up, buddy?
I remember specifically calling in to the show and telling you that my man Harsons was not going to get fired.
Yeah, we're going to visit the Harsin thing in a moment. But yeah, you're right. Harsin got a reprieve from Auburn. I hate to break it to you, they still don't want him there though.
Well, I knew that. Well, I'm not an Auburn fan. I'm a Georgia fan, so I really don't care. I wish Harsin would be there for 10 years so Georgia can beat them every year. But, I mean, whatever.
All right. Well, then you called Harsin your guy. So, hey.
Oh, yeah. He's my guy.
All right. Well, he's your guy. Then we'll get you an Auburn tank top.
Oh, no. That's for you, sir. But anyways.
I don't have an Auburn tank top. I didn't call up saying Harsin was my guy. I never said Harsin was my guy, so why should I wear an Auburn tank top?
Well, anywho.
Quote, Harsin is my guy. You said that, not me.
All right. And
would you like that tube top to be bedazzled, sir? I could get my daughter to work on that. Bedazzle it up.
Y'all little Carolina fans are just excited
what is
that y'all got.
Hold on, slow down. What does that have to do with Harsin? Harsin being your guy. Are you going to have like some Harsin tacos tonight? You're going to sit around the house and have Mexican food? Yay, my guy Harsin is back. Is that what you're going to do?
The reason I called him my guy is because we can beat Harsin every single year just like we do Carolina.
Sure. That's good, man. All right. Anything else for the program today?
Oh, yes. Y'all Carolina fans are so hyped up about Spencer Rattler. He got sat on the bench at Oklahoma. What makes you think he's going to do any better? You have a great day.
Well, thank you for that. And basically what you're saying is that you just want to spew out things and then you don't want to actually have a debate with it. At least when Megan calls me as a Georgia fan, he's dumb, but he knows things and he has the capability to carry a conversation. You just want to spew things and then I'll see you later. Look, here's the deal with Spencer Rattler. If you ask the average Georgia fan if they'd rather have Spencer Rattler as their quarterback or Stetson Bennett, the majority of them would tell you Spencer Rattler. Think about that for a second. Ask yourself that. Would you rather have Spencer Rattler under center this year or Stetson Bennett? Which way would you want to go? You don't call up here with some silliness, man. At least try to back it up. But you're a Brian Harsin guy. So, hey, you're happy with what happened with Harsin, I guess. He gets to come back. 803-978-1832. We enjoy a little sparring here on the rundown. It's not a personal thing. We just said Harsin was his guy. Harsin's your guy, then you should be happy. Anyway, we'll get into the Harsin thing in a moment, but the David Collins play last night, I think that, yes, it's worthy of the suspension. The young man that got cut, he was able to come back into the game. And I think what the ACC did was correct. I think the ejection was correct. Him having to sit down a little bit is the way to go. He apologized for it. What else do you want from this guy? I don't know. Collins doesn't have a reputation of being a guy that makes dirty plays. Now, I haven't exactly followed him and since he came to Clemson. But to say, okay, David Collins is the problem here, I'm not buying it. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. That is the number to dial if you'd like to join us here on the rundown. You know what? I might be able to get some folks to make some bedazzled Brian Harsin tank tops, if that's what you want to go with. Papa Giorgio Online says, Harsin said it was the most difficult time of his life. The worst of the worst attacked him and his family. Is there really a recovery from that experience? Yeah. He also says, you know what happens when Collins does that in the street park game. Look, being a guy that I never got to compete at that kind of level. I love to play pickup basketball though. If you do that move in a pickup basketball game, you better put your hands up because you might get your teeth knocked out. And I think Collins knows that. He's played enough basketball. I agree with Jimmy. Until it happens again, one game is the correct suspension. Yeah, a lot of venom online about that. Oh, he shouldn't be allowed to play anymore. I mean, I don't even know where to go with that, man. I'm pretty sure that Brad Brownell gave him an earful. And, I mean, the league suspended him for a game. We'll take calls on that at 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832. Packalock says he's going to bedazzle a ukulele for me. Okay. That'd be kind of cool. I'd play a bedazzled ukulele if you get one set up for me. I might be able to string a couple of tunes out of it. I've got talent. I can knock it out. Can't be that hard to play a ukulele. Papa Giorgio says he doesn't blame the players. He blames the coaches for not coaching him to not do that. I mean, I don't think Brad Brownell was running around, I don't think he should have to go and tell a guy that's playing basketball at the highest college level of, hey, make sure you don't cut people. I don't know. Mayhem Matthews says, I'm waiting to know when Spencer Rattler won a national title. Look, ask the Georgia fans, who would they rather have? Would you rather have Spencer Rattler or would you rather have Stetson Bennett? Because I can tell you from the Georgia fans that I've talked to that they pretty much, want to build a statue to Stetson Bennett, but go off into the land of Georgia. Man, then the Georgia fans, I think a lot of them are upset Spencer Rattler's there. You can make an argument that the most proven quarterback between the two schools is Spencer Rattler. Maybe. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. Jordan says it's not like Clemson does this on the regular. No, I don't remember seeing this at all, to be honest with you. It's just tough, a tough way to go. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832 is the number to call if you'd like to join us here on the rundown. on Fox Sports Radio 1400, around the world on the iHeartRadio app. And of course, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl, but we can talk about Brian Harsin as well. Of course, he is not going to be finding other employment. They had to make a statement saying, "Oh yeah, we're not going to fire Brian Harsin." that happened at Auburn. What a mess. I mean, Auburn, you're still a gong show. And what Papa Giorgio said earlier is very important. How do you recover from that? You think that he's going to forget this stuff? I mean, I don't think so. I think, in my opinion, that we're looking at it from a perspective of this guy is, he still wants to coach, and leaving would make him look silly. But you know what? You know what would be the poetic thing to happen? The poetic thing to happen would be if Auburn went out this season and they went like 11-1, and he ended up being like the SEC Coach of the Year, and he said, "Hey, you know what? I'm leaving. I'd rather coach at Wichita State or insert school here than to coach at Auburn, especially after the way that you treated me last in February." 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832 is the number to call if you'd like to join us here on the rundown this afternoon. We've got both of those topics. The David Collins thing is still out there, of course, with him getting suspended. We've also got the stuff with Brian Harsin, and LaVon Kirkland joins us in a little bit. He says he's running a little late today. I have to give LaVon grief for being a little late, but he's supposed to join us to talk about the Super Bowl. So we got all of that. I also want to talk, and I know this is like silly at its finest. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's go to the phones. Welcome into the rundown. Good afternoon.
Hey, Rob. This is Scott from Hartsville. How's it going?
Hey, Scott. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. I watched the basketball game last night, and I don't get all the fuss about it.
Well, I mean, it was a dirty play. I mean, he could have hurt that guy really bad.
But you know what? We've seen Duke players make that play for the last 20 years.
I mean, Duke does get away with a lot.
We've seen
but
Duke get tripping players down the court, dragging them down, and nobody's ever lost their mind like this about it. It's crazy. He got a hard foul. That's it.
He got cut, and I think there's a side of it where you have to look at player safety. He says he was running and couldn't stop. I don't know, man. Look, I'm just glad that the other player wasn't hurt. And what should happen happened. He got ejected. They suspend him for one game, and then by Sunday morning, everything is rosy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just the shoe's never on the other foot for Duke. Their coach goes to the lectern, and he makes the excuse for the kid. And then Brad Brownell has to get up there and bury the kid that's on his team. I think it's stupid.
Well, he's been suspended by the ACC, so.
Yeah, but I mean Brad Brownell doesn't have to say that. He says, look, it's hard play.
Well,
play.
But on the other, but respectfully on that, on the other end, he has to be the guy that's above it all and looks at it from a basketball perspective. He is when you think Clemson basketball, I mean, Brad Brownell is the statesman of it. And yeah, it was a hard play. I get that. But I mean, he on the end of having to discipline the player, I mean, I think that's important too. Letting him know in the media what you did was wrong. I think that's important. And Brad Brownell had to do that.
I mean, me and my cousin coached 12-year-olds, and we had a game. It was probably a week ago, and this other team had a great kid. I don't care what you have to do, put him on the ground. He did not get a shot off, and so he took the kid out. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the game. If you don't want to play it, don't play it.
I think it was a hard foul, and even Terrence Oglesby, former Clemson great, had some comments about it and said, I don't know what was going on there. I've done a lot of stuff in my time, but that was not good. And that's paraphrasing his tweet. And I give you that because he played at that level and played professionally and is a guy that I know and respect for his opinion. If Terrence Oglesby says that, doesn't that have some weight with you there?
Yeah, but I played, high school and all that, and coaches will say, I don't care if you got to stab him, get him on the ground. I don't care.
Stab him, but
and they mean it.
No, I don't think they meant to pull out a pocket
Well,
knife.
you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah. I don't care what you got to do. He can't make that play.
It's a runaway play for a dunk. I mean,
it is. And you're down, and Duke wants to rub it in your face because the last time you played Duke didn't even get a foul against Clemson.
That's true. I mean, that's true on the fouling part. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't even get a shooting foul.
Yeah.
In a whole game. And then the way the coach jumped up off the bench, you would think the kid was dead. He runs onto the court. He should have got a penalty for running on the court like he did.
I don't know about all of that. I know the guy hit the floor hard, and I was worried that he broke his neck. So that was how it looked to me. We could take it. We could take it any way we want to take it, but that's the way that I see it.
But I'm just saying, if when the shoe's on the other foot with Duke, it's the worst thing ever. But when Duke does it, Coach K gets on there and says, "My kids don't do that. My kids don't play that way."
Well, that's a
Christian
different argument.
Laettner was one of the dirtiest players to play in the ACC. I don't ever remember him get suspended for a game.
I don't have footage of Laettner doing that.
Roderick, I mean, how many times did he trip people during one season there? It was like 6-7 times in a row. Oh, it's just feet just get tangled up. It's the shoe's always on the other foot when it comes to Duke and it comes to UNC if something happens. It's like they're up above it, and everybody else just has to deal with it.
Well, I appreciate your call, man. Thank you for calling the show, as always.
All right, man. Thanks
a lot. All right, let's get another call in. Welcome into the program. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. Carolina Jackpot time coming at you.
Greetings, sir. Greetings, sir. How are you?
I'm great. Is the crying fest
DeAndre Johnson? Oh, sorry, I couldn't help myself.
From Scott from Fartsville. I call it Fartsville because I think his opinion stinks.
Okay. So you...
I mean, come on. I mean, when the shoe was on the other foot, with Duke's gotten away with that for years. Well, cite some examples. I mean, he's bringing up Christian Laettner. When did he last play? 30 years ago or more than that? I mean, that was a horrible foul last night. That idiot Tater could have decapitated that kid. No excuse for that. None whatsoever. Worst play I've seen all year. And he got his just diligence from that one. So, I'm sorry that, that offends the Clemson basketball fan, but it is what it is. You just don't do that. He was just salty because he got the ball stolen from him. He was about to get dunked on. And in the grand scheme of things, I mean, what difference does it make? I mean, they lost by like what it was about 25 points.
Yeah, it wasn't close. It wasn't close.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
It was enough to make the hat take the hat off his head and hold in his hand for a minute. But anyway, I just wanted to comment on that whilst I was riding down the road here, and I'm sure you're gonna have some Super Bowl picks there in a little bit.
Hey, I have to ask you this while I have you on the phone because you are my resident Gamecock apologist. Mayhem Matt earlier was talking about Spencer Rattler, and the Gamecocks are all happy about him. Do you agree with me that if Georgia had the opportunity to have Spencer Rattler or Stetson Bennett, they'd probably go with Spencer Rattler?
Geez, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, he's a pretty talented kid. I mean, it'd be hard to turn him down, but then again, why would you not just go with what took you to the dance? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's one of those what if scenarios that just mind boggling, sir. But hey, I'm gonna get off here. Great show this afternoon, and I will talk to you later.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Carolina Jackpot joining us on the show. We appreciate him as always. Quick break. When we come back, we'll have more for you. This is The Rundown. You're listening to Fox Sports Radio 1400. Look, it's not just Clemson basketball. I mean, it's the ACC has suspended him, so it's a huge, huge deal. Hold on, I get some water. Were you mocking me for yelling at him about DeAndre Johnson? Jackpot knows what's up. I'll fight you over Jackpot too, by the way. Welcome back to the Rundown on Fox Sports Radio 1400 around the world on the iHeartRadio app. My name is Rob Sanders. Short segment here because I went long earlier because I wanted to get the opinions of Scott and Mayhem Matthew over there, even though it didn't make much sense to me. And then, of course, Mr. Carolina Jackpot got to have his opinion too. So it'll be a short segment here. But some folks making comments about talking about basketball. And yeah, it's a big story, but I still think that we're at a point where with Clemson hoops in South Carolina, they are disappointing. Let's go back out to the phones. And welcome into the Rundown. Good afternoon.
Hey, it's Big Barney Ross. I just wanted to comment on what that caller said. His coach told him to take out their best player. And that's a shame. I mean, really, even football is trying to get away from dirty plays and hits to the head. And if you're going to tackle a guy that's trying to dunk just because you got showed up out there on the court, that's wrong. And if you're a coach and you're practicing that type of behavior, you need to find a different line of work. And I just wanted to comment on that. And one more thing. I think I don't think Kirby Smart would play Spencer Rattler. I think he would play a Fromm type or a Stetson Bennett. I think it probably the least talented quarterback on the team is what he would go with. But, Big Barney Ross, I just wanted to call in and say, if you're practicing that type of behavior in basketball, baseball, I mean, you're going to throw at their best player. You're going to try to hit them in the head with a 90-mile-an-hour fast. I mean, that's just not the game of sportsmanship. And as an American, we like to win, and we don't like to lose, but we like to win in an honorable way and get away from teaching these type of behaviors. So, Big Barney Ross, think about it. I'm out of here.
All right. Well, Big Barney Ross is correct on that. The only cheating that Big Barney Ross approves of is John Calipari paying players. You can pay players, that's fine. And because, he's kind of had trouble with that at every other school he's been at. But Big Barney Ross is correct. I don't agree with, taking out guys. And there's a difference between being tough and what happened last night with David Collins. So there's that too. As far as what he said, you know what? I didn't think about that, but it's kind of hard to throw rocks at Kirby Smart right now because he's sitting on top of the throne there, buddy. If they would have finished and then not won the national title, then it would have been, okay, you can throw those rocks. But he won the national title. So we can't really let that go. He looks like he was correct in playing Stetson Bennett. But there's definitely an argument to be made of, he's going to play the guy that that has the least amount of talent at quarterback. That's kind of true too. All right, 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832 is the number to call if you'd like to join us here on the Rundown, here on Fox Sports Radio 1400. We'll take calls on basketball, stuff with David Collins. The debacle that is Auburn. Auburn now, I said they were the gong show, and I meant it. They are definitely the gong show, but with the stuff that comes out of there every day now, yeah, I'm looking at them like maybe they're more of a soap opera. That's kind of where it is. The old sands through the hourglass. These are the days of the Auburn Tigers. Sad. That's basically what we're dealing with Auburn now. What's going to be next? All they need is the monkey from Texas, the stripper monkey from Texas, to go over to that program, and they'll just keep getting the ratings. Auburn's sad. 803-978-1832. It's the Friday edition of the Rundown. We'll be right back. I got to check on that score for you. Auburn is a mess. Stand by. I'm checking. Welcome back to the Rundown on Fox Sports Radio 1400 around the world on the iHeartRadio app. My name is Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us today. We've got, as always, a jam-packed show. The stuff with David Collins we've been talking about, the stuff with Brian Harston. I think that situation is kind of at a point now where I don't think it can be fixed. I really don't. Everything that's gone on there, it's not looking good for the Auburn program. And now you've got what, in my opinion, is almost like a, like a lame duck coaching situation. Let's go out to the phones. And welcome into the Rundown. Good afternoon.
Hey, well, how you doing, my man?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
So you're gonna have. I got a quick question to ask you. I tell you who Auburn. Oh yeah,
Go ahead, buddy.
yeah. Hell, well, I tell you who Auburn gonna go after next season. They're gonna go after Matt Wood or Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, I think that's who they like, man. That's a good point, man. Hey, I appreciate you calling the show, buddy. Thank you.
You have a good day, my brother.
All right, man. See you later on. That's kind of the way to go. Who knows? Who knows when it comes down to it? All right, so let's look at looking at some odds here. For someone asked about what was the odds for the Alabama game this weekend. I'll give that to you now. We try to be a show of the people here. Let's see here. Alabama. I don't have that game yet. It's not listed on the sites that I check out. So I have to check on that and I'll let you know. But I think Auburn's at a point now where the donors and the boosters are running the place now. And I think that there has to be a healthy harmony between the coaching staff and the athletic director and the big time donors. I think they all got to be on pretty much the same page. Right now, they're not. And you know what? A quality coach is not going to go there when all of this stuff is on the run. You know what I'm saying? Harson's name has been dragged through the mud. It really has. Papa Giorgio says, if Harsin wins 10 or more games, do they keep him? I think if they win 10 games, Harsin may quit on them. Do you really think he wants to be there right now? I'm not buying it. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. Let's go back out to the phones. Welcome into the rundown. Good afternoon.
Hey, Rob, how are you, sir?
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. It's a Friday. I'm ready for weekend, and I want to discuss the Super Bowl with you real quick, please, sir.
All right.
What I'm getting ready to say, I'm sure it's going to upset a few of Lawton's, fans, all his friends and his buddies and supporters. It might upset you, but I heard him say, and I've heard him say some pretty silly stuff, but this is the silliest thing I have ever heard Lawton say on his show. He was talking about the Super Bowl and he was talking about the commercials. And he said, I watched the Super Bowl because of the commercials, not football. He's more concerned with the commercials than the game. Now, I'm sure that 75% of the people out there that watch the Super Bowl are probably the same way. I don't understand it. Does it make any sense to you to watch a football game?
Well, look, I think that there is a section of folks that like the Super Bowl commercials. I know my wife will watch the Super Bowl on Sunday, and that'll be the big thing, that and the halftime show. She could care, like, if we called my wife right now, she could not tell you who's playing in the Super Bowl. Guarantee she would not know. I mean, she couldn't tell you where it's being played, couldn't tell you the teams that were in it, but she'll watch the Super Bowl. And she'll know more about the commercials and everything else in the halftime show than she'll know about anything.
Rob, now I understand what you're saying, and I'm trying to. I'm not analyzing anything because I'm not going to spend much time trying to, solve this situation. But when somebody can tell me the connection of a commercial ad that had connected to football, there is. I don't see how you can combine those two. But it makes no sense to me, but I'm sure it makes sense to everybody else in this world.
Fair enough, my friend.
So what?
I said, fair enough, man. I can't speak for Lawton Swan, who does Clemson Sports Talk from 4 to 6. He is doing the show from Old Swan Castle, which, of course, has a moat and alligators and a drawbridge. You can't get to Lawton Swan, period. I'd have to send him a message via smoke signal to get a hold of him. But
I understand. Yes, sir. I understand.
For him, so.
I understand what you're saying, but I promise you, I am fully aware of the moat, the Dobermans, the pit bulls, the landmines. But I promise you, I will come from the air. I will drop through his top of his house, and I will go through all the landmines. He won't hear me. He won't see me.
Fair enough.
I'm a seal, man. I'm a seal. If I need to get in his house, believe me, I'm gonna pop up in his bedroom while he's sleeping through the roof.
Fair enough, man. All right, buddy. Well, I
Adios.
appreciate you. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Yeah, he's happy about the Super Bowl. You can tell that. Couple of comments. Jimmy says, "Why would a reputable coach want to join the Auburn staff with the cloud over Harsin?" Good point. Justin says Alabama does play better at home, talking about the basketball team against good teams. So he's thinking that Bama could pull it off if they play like they did the other night. Look, I like the coaching matchup of Coach Muss and Coach Oates. I think that's those two will get after it. So yeah, that should be a fun game to watch tomorrow. Really should. We'll have to see how that works out. All right, 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832 is the number to call if you'd like to join us here on the rundown. Taking your Super Bowl predictions. You know, we're going to talk about some of the Super Bowl props. There are some props for the Super Bowl that I'll share with you in a moment. And you can tell me how you're going to bet on those. Those are kind of interesting. I like, a little Super Bowl prop betting. But yeah, we'll get into that when we come back. And we'll get our prediction for the Super Bowl. I haven't put out my prediction for the Super Bowl yet. I think I kind of have. But yeah, we'll get to those to you when we come back. Of course, he was talking about Lawton Swan, who was with us later on from 4 to 6. So yeah, check out his show. Mayhem Matthew's still mad over there in his closet saying, "I really need to know this, man. Do you really think Rattler's going to beat Georgia next year?" I don't know. My opinions are decent. At least I put them out there in an audio form. We talk about the bookcase of accountability. It's over here to my right. There's an audio bookcase of accountability, which is everything that I possibly could say on this show. It's in the podcast. You can go and check it out. You want to see what my predictions are? They're all there. I post every show. Go and subscribe. The Rundown with Rob. Find it in your favorite podcast app. However you get your favorite podcast, just search for The Rundown with Rob Sanders. You will not see my fat pumpkin head. You will see a picture of a microphone. It looks distinguished, like I'm a broadcast pro. But all of that's there. As far as what I think about with what Rattler can do with Georgia, I don't know, man. I don't know. Quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Super Bowl, and LaVon Kirkland has finally made it. He is a busy, busy man, but he made some time for us. I'm going to go grab him from the lobby. Quick break. When we come back, he joins us here on the Rundown. This is Fox Sports Radio 1400. I miss you too, Gandy. I don't know who you are, but I sure do miss you. Welcome back to the Rundown on Fox Sports Radio 1400 around the world on the iHeartRadio app. Joining us for the final segment of the show is LaVon Kirkland. He was here on Wednesday, but we're going to get Super Bowl picks from you. LaVon, what's going on, my friend?
Oh, not much, man. It's a little busy morning. Had to do a little car dealership thing.
Yeah.
But got that done. So made it, man. You know, I understand that the car dealership needs some improvements in a lot of ways. I mean, it was a great experience. I had a great experience with them, but there's some things I think they can do a little better.
Well, I tell you what, if you're going to buy a car, go to Mazda of Columbia.
Yeah.
My buddies at Mazda of Columbia, Greg and all those guys, they make the car buying really, really good. So go and check them out. But I got to get your thoughts, first of all, on David Collins last night. He cut the young man going for a dunk. ACC suspended him for a game.
Wow.
The conference suspends you for a game. That's a problem. But
that's a problem. Yeah.
I mean, it looked like a dirty play.
It looked a little vicious. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it was kind of funny because it seemed like the benches were going to clear.
Yeah.
At one point in time, then cooler heads prevailed. And I was surprised at the end that Coach K kind of gave the guys some encouragement because he was kind of pissed at first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't a smart play.
It wasn't a smart play, and I think the suspension is valid.
Yeah, it is.
Ejected from that game, ejected from the game after that. But after that, I mean, you paid your crime. It's over with.
Yeah. That's true. And he should be able to go on and play basketball like he wants to, but he was a little bit aggressive, you know, on that play. There was no really need to, you know, it was already, it was going to be a dunk or whatever. Just let it go.
He had 4 steps on him. You weren't stopping that dunk.
No, unless you had a fishing hook or something like that.
Exactly.
But other than that, you weren't going to stop that play. So
you weren't going to stop it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I really understand what Collins was doing on that play.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
So let's talk the Super Bowl really quick here. I got some prop bets for you.
Okay.
Some of these are stupid. Will Al Michaels or Chris Collinsworth say the spread? Yes, or will it be yes or no? You think they'll mention the spread with the broadcast team? I think Collinsworth will.
I don't think Al Michaels will because I see Al Michaels as being a professional. I could see Chris doing it, though.
I could, too.
Yes.
Will Joe Burrow be compared to Macaulay Culkin?
Yes, he's already been compared to him several times online. I have seen it. He does look like the grown-up version. So I'm going to say yes.
He looks like Macaulay Culkin that didn't visit Michael Jackson and didn't do drugs.
Yeah.
So I hate to break
you ever
that
see
up.
that Michael Jackson documentary?
I did. It hurts.
Yeah,
it hurts watching it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
You watch that and you're like, man, all this stuff. Thriller wasn't that good.
Yeah. I'm going to throw away my Thriller jacket.
You've got a Thriller jacket?
No, I didn't.
Man, those are hard to come by. Will Joe Burrow be shown smoking a cigar?
Yes.
Of course he will.
No question.
I mean, that's definitely up there. Which Hollywood landmark will be shown first, the Hollywood sign or the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
The Hollywood sign.
I think the sign.
Yes.
That's the iconic portion of it. Which celebrity will be shown first? I'm going to give you a couple of them.
Okay.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, or Kim Kardashian. They're going to go with the woman first. I think they have to.
I think they go with Kardashian.
I think they'll go with Kardashian first if she's there.
Leonardo is going to be next.
Which athlete will be shown first? Magic Johnson, LeBron James, or Clayton Kershaw?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a very good one.
God, because normally it'd be Magic Johnson, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because of LeBron's affiliation with the Lakers, I'm going to go with LeBron.
It might be LeBron. Kershaw, I'm sure, will be at that game though.
Yeah, no question about it. Yeah.
Let's see here. Which former player will be shown first in an image or highlight? Boomer Esiason, Kurt Warner, Chris Collinsworth, Ickey Woods, Marshall Faulk, or Eric Dickerson?
I'm going Boomer.
I'm going with Ickey Woods. I think they'll show.
I like Ickey. Yeah,
I think they'll show the Ickey shuffle.
They're definitely going to show the Ickey shuffle. There's no question about that.
Will it be him doing it though? That's the big thing.
Yeah, well, Ickey will do it. If they ask Ickey to do it, he'll do it. I know Ickey, so yeah, he'll do it.
Which quarterback's name will be said first during the game? Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. I think he's going to play next year.
You think so?
I think so. He's already laying the groundwork, already laying it out.
No, I think that's it for him.
All right. Which Hall of Fame quarterback will be said first? Joe Montana, Joe Namath, or Joe Theismann?
Oh, Montana.
I think Montana with the 49ers. Yes. I think that.
Why would you mention Joe? Oh, because all their names are Joe.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I would say definitely Joe Montana.
Yeah, we'll see on that one. What university will be said first during the game? LSU or Ohio State? I think it's Joe Burrow wears the LSU armband.
It's
still
LSU.
Now. I think it's going to be LSU
yeah.
too. You know, I think it's funny the Ohio State fans that are clamoring to.
Are they claiming him
They're
now?
claiming Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't good enough to play there. Had to go somewhere else to play. But, you know, although he's a Buckeye first. Yeah, but he left your school.
Yeah, no question about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, what a mess with all of that. All right. So let's look at the game, man. You know, we've got about about 2.5 minutes here. Actually, a little bit longer than that. About 3.5 minutes here. Big matchup, two quarterbacks, an all SEC quarterback showdown. Joe Burrow comes in being that they're calling him Joe Cool and Macaulay Culkin and everything else. I think there's a big section of folks that want Joe Burrow to win this thing, but Matt Stafford's a hell of a quarterback.
Matt Stafford is a great quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, when you watch him from the Detroit days, you know, it just wasn't surrounded with a lot of great talent. They just couldn't get it done. But that guy can absolutely positively play. I mean, from his Georgia days, I mean, my goodness, he was an excellent quarterback. Now he gets this opportunity. So, yeah, that guy's a monster.
I agree with you on that. And I think that the quarterbacks are almost even. I mean, you can make an argument. Maybe one's a little bit younger than the other one, but I mean, Matt Stafford is a heck of a quarterback. I think he'll throw for more yards than Burrow does.
Matt Stafford can spin that thing.
Yeah, but he's got better. I think he's got great receivers. I mean,
oh yeah,
Kupp and of course the other guy from
Odell
Beckham.
Odell Beckham, Jefferson. They're pretty loaded.
They're great, and not taking anything away from Chase and Higgins.
Right,
but man, they've got some great receivers there with the Rams.
They do, but I really like the Rams defense, especially that defensive line. Donald is a monster in the middle, man, can really defend against a double team, can rush the passer, gives them a whole lot. And then you look at Ramsey on the backside of it. Ramsey is a heck of a player, be able to cover one of those guys, Higgins or Chase, one-on-one. So, the Rams, gosh, Lee, man, they're good. And maybe I'm thinking a little bit too much about Cincinnati and back in the day and, you know, how terrible they were. So, I don't know.
I mean, they were basically a bye week for your Steelers.
It was kind of honestly, they always played us pretty tough.
Oh, come on now.
They played us tough.
Don't be humble, LeBron. You guys used to beat the stuffing out of them.
Yeah, sometimes we did.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But they beat us a couple times. Not many, though.
Not many. Well, but when I look at that, though, you mentioned the defensive line, and that's great, but I think they've got the best quarterback or the best defensive back in the league in Jalen Ramsey.
Yes.
Nobody's throwing on him. I mean,
yeah,
it cuts off that half of the field.
And it makes it playing defense easier when you got a guy who can shut off half of the field. So, man, it looks like it's going to be the Rams, you know, but man, I just have a sneaky suspicion it could be the Bengals. I'm really not sure.
You know where I'm going with this? I think that there's been a lot of folks that haven't thrown at Jalen Ramsey,
right?
But I think Joe Burrow has the satchel to do it. And
no question about it.
He will test him. He will look at Higgins, and he will look at Chase and say, "You're gonna let that guy own you?" No, we're not having that. I mean, that's the kind of conversation I think Burrow will have with them. I think they may target Ramsey a little bit because he hasn't been really put in that situation because nobody throws at him.
Well, I tell you what, it's always, do you go at a great player or do you totally avoid a great player?
Make him make his money.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for us to say behind this microphone.
That's absolutely true.
But I wonder, I think you do have to challenge him a couple times to see what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and if you get him rattled a little bit, you keep going after him.
If you do that, though, I mean, it keeps the defense a little more honest.
Right.
When you think about it, they have to compensate for that a little bit, right?
Raheem Morris will have to do a little adjusting if that happens.
If they come down and Jamar Chase makes a big play on Ramsey, I think that could completely open up the offense there for the Bengals.
It could be, but man, Ramsey is so good, though.
He is good.
He is so good. I don't know if Chase is going to really just do what he wants to do.
We'll have to see. Can you give me a score prediction?
Ooh, score prediction. I think it's going to be 28-21.
And you got the Rams.
I actually do have the Rams. I was thinking about it all. I thought about the Cincinnati Bengals all week long, and I was thinking they have a shot to do it. But the more I think about it, I think the Rams are going to do it this time.
I'm going to go with the Rams because of the defensive line, and I like Matt Stafford.
Right.
I like Matt Stafford, and I like Irv Cup. Hey, LeVon, thanks for joining us, man. We really appreciate it. Hope to bring you back on. We'll talk about the draft and all kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course. Anytime you need me.
All right, there you go, LeVon Cook, for joining us on the Rundown. We'll see you on Monday. All right, appreciate you guys. We'll see you later on.